Hey folks, welcome to the Do-It-Yourself Dad channel. These two vacuums, they really suck. Now, I know, corny joke, but it's the Do-It-Yourself Dad channel. You're gonna get bad dad jokes here. So in this video, we're playing around with our new vacuum from Eufy. I've been really impressed with this thing. It's really the first robot vacuum that I've had that really works the way it's supposed to. So I'm gonna show you how we set this thing up, how we run it around our house. It does hardwood floors. It can actually mop the floors too, which is really cool. It can vacuum even thick carpet. But the best part about this is its navigation. It really gets around the house and gets every spot, not like some of those older kind of bump and go vacuums. So we're gonna get this thing set up, run around the house, and at the very end, I think I have like 5 or 6 robot vacuums. We're gonna turn them loose on each other and have them run around one of my rooms all at the same time. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned for that. But right now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a suck counter down in the corner down there. Every time I say the word suck, we're gonna count them. And at the end of the video, we're gonna see how many times I said suck. So, take a guess down below in the comments, see how close we all are. Let's get into the setup. So to show you what all this thing comes with, it comes with the vacuum, of course, the charging dock, the little mop thing, and this is what you fill up with water, and it applies the water to the floor, and it also comes with a whole bunch of these washable pads. Now I did have one other vacuum that mopped, and it only came with one pad. This one came with a bunch, which is nice. And there's another neat thing that was an issue with the other one. This one comes with this. This is like a parking pad that you put underneath it. So if any water does come out of this thing, it won't ruin your hardwood floors. That was another problem I had with the last one that I had that mopped. Now let's get into setting this thing up. Now I already have a lot of Eufy products, but they're all their security line. This one is actually gonna set up through the Eufy Home. So you're gonna download the Eufy Home app. If you already have the Eufy security app, it uses the same login, and we're gonna go in here and add the device. And it's gonna have the selections of the different things they have in the Eufy Home line. We're gonna go robot vacuums, and we're doing the RoboVac X8 Hybrid. There's a lot of different things to choose from, and they want to use the Bluetooth. That's to actually set everything up, so you do want to enable that. And it's already discovered the vacuum. We're going to give it our Wi-Fi password, and that's so it can connect. Now it gives us the ability to name it, and we're going to name it Rosie. Comment down below if you know where we got that name from. So now we've got the vacuum set up. Let's get it set up on the floor, and we're going to start its first navigation around the house. Now during the first drive around the house where it's building the map, it will still be sucking up dirt, so you still will get a clean house. It just takes a little bit longer. Now something interesting, inside the little dome on top, there's a spinning laser, and that spinning laser is actually how it sees its way around the house. It can see where walls and terrain are. And I'm going to show you that right here with the night vision camera that I have. Now that is an infrared laser. That's why we need to use the night vision camera. It's built in the map, and you can see the map getting built right here on my phone. Now a pointer is when you do the first drive around the house, pick up all your chairs and anything that you can get off the floor so we can get a good map of the house. You won't have to do this in the future, but it will give it a good idea of where everything is in the house. Later on, we'll show you how well this thing gets around legs of chairs and things like that. Now, while the robot's making its first map of the house, I also picked up this thing. This is the Eufy E30. It's their cordless stick vacuum. And I grabbed this thing because robot vacuums are great, but they can't do everything. This thing will get into all the crevices. We can do the tracks of the closets and all that good stuff. So this thing, I've been playing around with it for a couple weeks. You can see there's already some dirt in there. I've cleaned it out a bunch of times, but this thing's pretty cool. I'm actually impressed. We're probably gonna bring it camping with us too, so we can clean out the camper out in the desert. But this thing's gonna live in the closet with where the litter box is for our cat, and it's gonna help clean up all that stuff that the robot can't always get to. So let's show this thing in action while the robot's making that map. So this thing, or at least the cat that uses this thing, is the reason for my obsession with robot vacuums. I don't know what this cat does. I don't know how she gets so much litter out of the box, but she's got a talent. And it's not just here, it's all over the house. So this is really the only way I can keep my house clean on a regular basis. So in the closet here where I have the litter box, I like to use this thing. Now something really neat with this one, and I think it puts it above the rest, is inside here, there's actually an electrical connection that spins these brushes. There's a motor in there. I've had other stick vacuums and they relied just on suction power to spin the brushes, which meant once you got into thick carpet, nothing was pulling the brushes around. It really didn't work that well. This thing actually spins those brushes and really beats the carpet up. So let's get in there, clean out the closet. Now this little thing really does suck, and it sucks a lot. It actually picks up a lot of stuff, and it gets down deep into the carpet. I actually think it does a better job getting down into the carpet and removing grime than my regular upright vacuum. So you can see how clean it got the floor, and you can see how much stuff this thing pulled off the floor down here in the collection bin. Now we've switched the nozzle out to the little crevice nozzle. So we'll suck all the litter out of the crack and we'll be all done. It should be done mapping the house now, so let's get back over to the robot vacuum, play back around with that some more. All right, so it's finished mapping the house and it's done a full cleaning of the house, but now we're gonna remove the dust bin and see what it collected. And this is really the test. The vacuum is only as good as it can pick up stuff. So let's see what's inside the bin. And that is gross. This is probably mostly cat hair. Underneath that, we've got all the litter that it picked up. So it did do a really good job. This is only one cleaning of the house, and our house is usually relatively clean. But what's nice about this is it does get underneath things that a regular vacuum wouldn't, so it's probably getting stuff that you may be missing elsewhere. Notice it does have this little air filter, so it does filter the air on the way out, so you're not just blowing dust all over your house. Now we're gonna clean this thing out and we're gonna move on to the next thing, and as I pointed out before, most of our house is hardwood. Let's set it up to mop the floor. And to do that, we're gonna be using their mopping attachment. Now this is the mopping attachment. It clips to the bottom of the vacuum. It's got a cleaning pad here, and it does come with a couple of these, so you can throw them in the washer and clean them and use them over and over again. And on the other side is a reservoir. You can fill this with water or whatever cleaner you wanna use. We're gonna be using water, and we're gonna be just filling it here. You can fill it in the sink. The reason we're doing it here is because they haven't invented a robot that does dishes yet. So here I am. So with our water reservoir filled, fill that back up, and then we're gonna set this on the bottom of the vacuum. And this also gives me an excuse to quickly show you the bottom of the vacuum. It's got the wheels here that drive it. It's got this front little wheel that pivots. It's got a brush here, and this gets in underneath cracks and crevices, and it's got the main beater brush here. That's where all the stuff goes in. What is kind of neat about this thing is the little mopping attachment goes right here on the bottom, clips in place. But as it's running, it's going that way, which means it's picking up stuff before the mop hits it. So in theory, you really could run this thing with the mop attached while it's vacuuming and do it all in one shot. So let's put it on the base station and get it going. Now with the mop attachment set up, we are gonna go into the app here and actually select just the rooms that we have hardwood floor in, and then we're gonna set it loose. Now, buying all the stuff to film these videos isn't exactly cheap. That's why I need to thank today's sponsor, and that is Skillshare. Now, Skillshare is an online learning platform, kind of like what we do here, but at a much, much higher level. Long before they were a sponsor, I was a customer of theirs, and I learned a lot of great stuff from it, and I'm sure you can too. So if you're curious about learning, check out Skillshare. I have a link down below. The first 1,000 people that click on that link will get a free trial subscription, no strings attached. So be sure to go down below, check out that link. Now let's get back to the vacuums. Now, when I did the initial mapping, I picked up all my chairs so we get a good map, but this time I have all the chairs down, you can see right there. And this is gonna give us a good opportunity to see how well this thing can navigate in throughout chairs and furniture in the room. Now here it is going to the dining room table with the chairs down, and you can see here on the map of that path that it actually got in between most of the chairs and did a really good job. This thing does a much, much better job than the bump and go robots that I had before. And here's an example of what I'm talking about, the bump and go robots. They just kind of go until they hit something, and then they turn at a little bit of an angle. You have no guarantees you're getting stuff. You're certainly not getting corners, and you're certainly not getting edges with something like this. This was good 10 years ago, but right now we're doing a lot better with this LiDAR stuff. And in contrast, here is the Eufy vac room sucking up dirt in our dining room, and you can actually see it first going around the edge and then actually going in between all of the table legs and getting up all the stuff underneath the table. We also get a cameo appearance from the cat, which is the reason I have spent all this money on robot vacuums to begin with. Now, so far I've just shown you this thing sucking up all the dirt off of our hardwood floors, but we also have thick pile carpet, and this does a great job sucking all the stuff out of those carpets as well, including the really fine grit of the kitty litter that we use. Now, it does that because it's got more suction power. It has 2 turbines instead of just 1 turbine, and it has a lot more suction than our other vacuums. Now, the only other vacuum that I have that I think even really holds a candle to this thing is the Wyze vacuum. That thing does also have LiDAR, so it has really good navigation, but it doesn't have nearly as much suction, and it also doesn't have the mopping attachment. Both of those things I really like. So this thing right now is my new favorite robot vacuum. So I've come to that point in the video, the point where we're gonna put all of our robot vacuums against each other. Now I've got my 2 smart vacuums down there. Those are the ones that actually have LiDAR. I'm gonna use my phone to tell them to go to the kitchen, and then I'm gonna fire up the other ones in the kitchen, and they're all gonna plow into each other. So let's see how this goes. All right, so now that these 2 are in here, we're gonna fire up these 3. Now that down there, that's a lot of sucking going on. So I hope this video helped you out. This is the loudest I think my kitchen has ever been. It's probably the cleanest the floor will ever be. Hope you're enjoying this. I had to barricade things in a little bit because some of these are just the bump and go robots, not the smart ones. And the Kaival right there, he just gave up. Oh, one's got my foot. Anyway, I hope this video helped you out or at least entertained you a little bit. If it did, give it a great big thumbs up. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. We got lots more stuff. Ah, the other one's got my foot. A lot more stuff coming your way. And of course, thanks for watching.